Hey guys, CatDemon here. Today for the video, we're going to be continuing our under dollar series. And last time I did anything under anything under $100, and today we're going to be doing anything under 200. Obviously, we're going to span within the range of 102 to 100. So it'll be anything under just 200, but not anything under 100. So for the number 10 spot, we're going to be doing top 10 this time, not top 5. And our top 10 spot is the Deadly Roots animatronic. The Deadly Roots animatronic was from, I think, 2017 when they came up with the woods and the alien place. And it's even on my list because I kind of liked it, but it had a lot of flaws, such as it would fall off, the arms or the headpieces would fall off, and the video made it look a lot better than it actually was. They made its arms come out much more fully than it actually was because it doesn't really come out that much, and it's not really much of a scare. It's decently priced, I guess, but I wouldn't buy it because it would fall apart too easily, and I can imagine it would not be very good under any sort of conditions. And I feel like I couldn't trust it. I feel like it would break pretty easily. I've seen a lot of people have broken ones right out of the box as well. So that is why Deadly Roots is number 10 on my list. Going on to number 9 is Cocoon Corpse. I have purchased this one myself. Although it is a very good prop, I do like a lot more. I mostly did get this one because my mom really liked it. But it is definitely one of the more unique hanging props that they've come out over the years. I only have a couple, and as this is one of them, the only complaints I can really say is it's hard to hang because I don't have a lot of hang spots for it, but if you do, it's really good. And the only other bad thing is that the plastic spiders fall off sometimes. That can be really annoying, but you can just adjust those pretty easily to stay in. I just don't really do that. But otherwise, I love the motion, really creepy. The noise is cool. Anything else about it, I mean, it's just a cocoon, and it's really creepy to have, especially if you're going for like a spider scene. But it was really great last year for my haunted house. A lot of people thought it was creepy. It was definitely a worthwhile purchase. It's priced pretty good, and I highly recommend it. Number 8 on the list is Rusty, which was one of last year's animatronics. Rusty is... I have mixed feelings about Rusty, but he's definitely a cool prop that I think maybe it could have been a little bit lower because he is smaller size. But I definitely think they've really changed it up as of last year for 2019. And I really like, he's a scarecrow. We've had scarecrow before, but like with a chainsaw and the motion, we've never seen that kind of motion before with that kind of prop. And I really think it's a good prop. I think the quality could have been a little better because he does rock a lot on his barrel, so you do have to secure that down pretty well. But otherwise, I think he's pretty good. Only thing, maybe I feel like you just have to be careful with when he rocks because, I've seen him fall over and you don't want anything to break. But I love the motion where he pops his head up and then starts bringing his chainsaw up and down, and it makes the chainsaw noise. That's something unique that we really haven't seen in a while. For scarecrows especially, because Jack Straw and him were pretty new, and I don't think we had gotten one in a little while, it was a nice refresher. So that's why Rusty is on this list. I definitely think he is something you should pick up. I might pick him up next year. I'm not sure. It depends what they come out with, Can't wait to see you in those sneak peek videos. Alright, guys, number 7 coming up is Experimental Eddy. He is a zombie prop that was also released last year for 2019. He's another electrocute prop, which I thought was interesting because the last one they had was a hanging one. It was much smaller. But I definitely think they've improved mostly, although the 2016 one was pretty good. I don't really think that I would personally get them. I'm not a huge fan of zombie props, actually, unless they're really cool. But the fact that he's like pretty big, he's like life-sized, and he has pretty good motion. He moves around a lot, and the electrocution thing looks really cool at night when it glows blue. And I think he's decently priced as well. I think he's I think he's good. Maybe if they brought it down by like $10 or something, it might be a little bit better. But if you are into that kind of thing, I definitely suggest him. He's definitely a good one to pick up. That's why he makes number 7 on the list, Experimental Eddy. I like the name too. It was a cool sneak peek to see. I don't like his face. It looks kind of weird though. That's the only bad thing about him. But otherwise, I think he's a great prop. Pretty good detail on his chest and hands and stuff. The electrocution sound is kind of cool. And that is why Experimental Eddy is number 7 on the list. Okay guys, number 6 is Man's Possessed Friend. That came out, I think, 2018. Yeah, it was 2018. Man's Possessed Friend is definitely a decently priced prop. It comes with a doghouse, which is cool. And the dog, the motion where it comes out, because you don't know what's actually in there, which I think is a cool aspect, that you don't think there's anything in there because there's like a flap that covers it. But then this dog pops up, and I don't normally like dog things, but this was definitely one that I think is pretty cool, and I might also pick up because it's cheap. It's on the cheaper side, so I think it's like $180 or something. But it pops out pretty fast. I know in some videos they like to speed it up, but this one's not really that bad. It's got good motion, and it's pretty scary. I think it would definitely get a bunch of scares if you did get it. So if you're looking for that kind of thing, I definitely think you know what? I think I will get it next year. I think that's a good one, unless there's something else that's better. So that is why Man's Possessed Friend is on number 6 for the list. Number 5 on the list is the 6.5 foot creepy towering clown. This one has been around since I believe 2016, and is definitely a classic prop for me at least because I was much younger when it came out. I know it's not technically considered a classic prop, but anyway, the towering clown is very big and very scary. He's similar to the newest one that came out. I forget that one's name with that clown, but he's skinnier and he has better motion in my opinion. His head moves and his mouth moves, and his body also moves back and forth, which I think is definitely cool. And he's just, especially if you're creeped out of clowns, he's definitely like an imposing figure, like he's a little intimidating because he's really big and he's got these big lengthy arms. He's almost like a clown version of Slenderman. I think it's really cool. I don't know. I don't think I'll be picking him up anytime soon just because I like him, but there are a lot of things I like better than him. And I don't really need any more tall props. I have a lot of them already, and they're kind of hard to fit in, because, ceiling-wise. So he's also well built too. He's made by Seasonal Visions. You can tell by the Seasonal Visions hands that you get from other props. But I definitely think that if you are a clown fan, that is one you should definitely get. And this is a little bit above the price range. It's priced at $209, but I don't think he'll be in my next video for this series because I'll be going to $50 and above. Coming up at number 4 is Demonic Dahlia. Demonic Dahlia was also a 2019 release prop. It's very similar to Jack Straw. I would have picked her up, but I like Jack Straw better. They have similar motions. They're sitting down and then they pop up. Although they're two different things. Demonic Dahlia is like some sort of like creepy witch demonic possession kind of thing, and then Jack Straw is just a scarecrow. I know a lot of people might like Demonic Dahlia better just because for a theme or something, but I personally like Jack Straw because he has more motion with the arms, and Demonic Dahlia does not do that. I do not think I'll be picking her up. I think she is a little too high priced. Although I'm not sure if she's less or more than Jack Straw. I think she's less, which I think should be accurate because he does have more motion in him. So yeah, maybe a little bit lower in the price because she doesn't have a lot of detail in her clothing or anything, although her face looks really cool. Kind of weird though, but I think it's pretty creepy. I like her voice a lot. That is why she is number 4 on the list. Alright, number 3 is Severus, the 3-headed dog from 2016. Severus is definitely one of my favorite dog props ever, also along with Man's Possessed Friend. Severus has been around for a while. He's just a classic that a lot of people like because of the smoke that comes out, and he makes good noises. And you could even you could make like a doghouse and put him in there. But I think he could really fit well with any setting, especially like a forest or something. But he's just a perfect prop. Doesn't really have any issues. except that there's no like back to him. So, you know, you can only see him, he's like a front view only prop because all the stuff is in the back, like the fog machine and stuff. But it is cool that it hooks up to all three heads, and there's like lights, so it can just come out of the mouths, and it looks really, really cool. You can make a really cool effect with that. And that is why Severus is number 3 on the list. Number 2 for our 100 to 200 range is Little Scaly Bones. I know I've talked about him before in some of my videos, but he was a fan favorite. A lot of people, like, he was selling out when he first came out. He came out 2015, I think, for the swamp theme. I think that's right, or it could have been 2014. But anyway, he's just a great swinging prop. A lot of people like him. He's so creepy. I've talked about him before. He's got great motion. He's decently priced. I think he's $150-ish, which I think is a really great price, especially nowadays since they're still selling him. He's a little small, but I don't really mind that. He rocks back and forth. His rocking's a little bad if you don't have it hooked up to the right thing, and I don't really have anything good to hook it up to. But if you have him hooked up right, the rocking will be really good. Says creepy lines. His head moves back and forth. Eyes glow. I mean, there's nothing much else to say about him. He's just a great prop in general. And finally, for number 1 on the list is the Jack Straw Animatronic. Now, I think he is obviously well-ranged for the amount of motion that he would have. Honestly, I think I would buy him over the Nightmare Harvester, even though I do like the Nightmare Harvester more. Because he's such a good scare prop. They're really stepping up their game with like the jump scares as of last year, and I'm just really impressed with what Spirit Halloween's been doing. I love everything about Jack Straw. He was perfect. He looks like he's sitting down. You could put a bowl of candy in front of him. People would go up and he'd scare the hell out of them. And I just think that he's a great prop, and he deserves to be number 1 on this list. Even though there are some that I probably would put above him, but Spirit Halloween does not sell them anymore. Anyway, that's been my $100 series episode for today. Hope you guys like and subscribe and comment down below, and tell me what you thought of the video. See ya.